Hello, my name is Erin Harris, and I will be doing my final presentation on what I've learned over this class, my leadership class for the spring semester. So, first off, I would just like to say the reason I took this class was because I wanted to become a better leader and improve upon myself and just be the leader that I was looked up to. So, I play soccer here at KSU, and leadership is a big deal when it comes to a team. And it's not something we lack, but I just never. It's something that I knew that I could improve upon, and honestly, this class has really helped me, and it's taught me what I want to be and how to get there. So I took this class to get a better personal leadership philosophy, learn my leadership strengths and weaknesses, my leadership capability methods, and things like that. And so, starting off, I learned about myself which I didn't even know, that I'm more of a theory why kind of leader, which means when I take charge when I see it's necessary, and if I know it needs to get done, I'm gonna do it. If I need it done right, I'm gonna do it. And so, for example, in class, if she's get in groups of 4 and get this done by the end of class, then I would get my group together and give them instructions, take control immediately to make sure that I get the grade I want and we get it done on time and correctly. So that was just something that I learned about myself, and it helps me to realize where I can pull back or how to motivate others so that I'm not just one-sided, me doing all the work or being a boss and just shouting out orders. It helps me understand that I need to realize that about myself and get my group together in a calm way and give everybody a job, so it's not just me doing all the work. I also learned my strengths and weaknesses. So my strengths were that I'm good at influencing people and relationship building. And honestly, this makes sense because I like to think of myself as a people person. So when I influence people, it's just making them want to do their work and want to listen to me, and I'm influencing them to stay on the right path. And as a leader, I think that's very important, because if you're a leader and you're leading people the wrong way, then that's bad, and bad things can happen, and it's just not right. You're abusing your power. So for me to be strong at influencing people, I need to realize it can go either way, and that I need to take charge and lead these people the right way and get us to the point where we need to be, which is getting our job done correct, on time, and together as a unit. Not one person has too much work, is overworked. So then the other half of that was relationship building. And so I would say that this comes into play. I would say I got this from my being on a team so long. So as girls, not all of us get along all the time. And I'm sure in real world situations, not everyone gets along. So building relationships, I feel is important, because you need a group chemistry to be effective and get your job done correctly. So for me to be able to help people at least see everyone's point of view and be okay and able to work together is very important, because if there's 2 people in a group who don't get together and just can't stand each other, it's only going to be destructive for the group. So I think it's really good that as a leader, I'm able to build relationships and at least have a group chemistry going at some level. And maybe not everyone loves each other, but they're able to get along and work together for the end goal of getting everything on track and moving in the right direction. So those are my strengths and why I think they're important. And then my weaknesses were strategic thinking and executing, which was kind of not a good thing here, because I feel those are also very important, but I needed to hear that, and that's a good reason I took this class, so that I realized yeah, I know this about myself. When I get something done, I just automatically think, okay, this is how I'm going to get it done, and this is the way I want to do it. And so it may not be the best method or the most effective method, and that could be problematic. So that's where my strategic thinking probably comes into play. I don't actually think strategically. I just think whatever comes into mind first, this is how I want to do it, and this is how we're going to do it. So one thing that I can do to help me work on that is lean on my group members for support and ask them and get their opinions, because their ideas on how to get something done may be better than mine. So I can take that into account. And just taking a deep breath and not going with what comes in first in my mind. That can also be important and helpful in my strategic thinking. And I have learned many methods in this class on how to work on my weaknesses. And then the other half was executing. So I think that I probably tested lower on that because I think it comes into play with I just do it how I want to do it. So like if I need to get 4 red balls, maybe I just think, okay, I gotta die for red balls instead of just going and buying 4. Like obviously that was just a bad example, but it just makes sense that like my executing may not be the simplest and most effective. It's just whatever comes into my mind first, and I think that's where that comes into play. And I think that those are just very similar, so it will help to work on them, and it will help me like be able to pinpoint that area more specifically and work on it to become a better leader. So overall, those were my leadership capability methods and my strengths and weaknesses, and my philosophy is theory why. So those are just all the things I've learned in this class that will help me, that all the things I've learned that I need to work on myself and how to be a better leader and what I think I have learned, So that's all.